The story started with a post on Platform X, formerly known as Twitter, by author Zaolangian. A story on the internet does not require verification. The story is about a character in the Chinese Communist Party's government system, holding an important and sensitive position. This character was suspected of betraying the organization and underwent interrogation for a long time. This character eventually withdrew from the organization, and the story of his experience was told to a freelance journalist. The journalist investigated the Tailian incident that shocked China and the world. I have a good friend who once held an important position in a certain ministry. Of his importance and personal characteristics I cannot say more. Perhaps good friends who know me have heard these stories. In the early years, I often revealed information when I had the opportunity to eat and drink with them. At that time, he was misunderstood by the organization and was taken to a special place for investigation for more than 20 days. Investigation or interrogation is divided into many different levels due to different investigation objects. Security issues are a scale to classify subjects being interrogated. And the tools used in interrogation are also divided into many levels. Only qualified people can own this type of high-end torture tool, which only damages the inside, not the outside skin. Because of the incident involving Xi Mingzi and Xi Jinping, Niu Tingyu's mother's punishment was upgraded to a high-ranking official. Readers can imagine my friend being released and not being able to see anyone for more than 2 months, and when I saw him in the 3rd month, he was completely devastated. The face is the color of pig liver. His whole body was full of internal wounds that could not be found upon examination. His official position and family both became nothing. The outcome was extremely tragic. He was young and promising. He was in the highest position and fell into a situation where he almost became a prisoner. A few months later, I made a private appointment with him to go to the office of Liang Qichao, a closed private restaurant. There are many such strange and private places in Beijing. He talked about many special torture methods. All these particular tortures are legal and even the best lawyer cannot find fault. For example, the torture of Niu Tingyu's mother was a terrible act. The torture my friends were subjected to seemed more civilized. For example, during the check-in process, the security staff was changed back and forth 4 times a day, and my friend was not allowed to sleep 24/7 because of trivial matters. There was also strong light shining into the eyes, making it impossible to see the interrogator's face. Most people cannot endure this type of torture. This friend of mine is definitely not an ordinary person. He is an outstanding person among outstanding people. The party organization examined him for more than 20 days and finally judged that he was not a spy and did not betray national interests. The organization unintentionally made a mistake. He probably won't have any problems with the organization. After being mistreated by the organization, as long as he is willing to be a slave, the party organization will continue to take advantage. The future is still bright. The interrogation results have been completed, but the case is not over. The fighting within the Communist Party has never stopped. He directly videotaped many back-and-forth interrogations and had absolutely no legal problems. From then on he was dishonest with the party organization. After being abused by that ministry, he was abused by his own ministry. It's miserable. He went from a man full of promise and glory to a silent worker. It took up to 10 years to escape this mysterious unit. Because he had to endure all kinds of mental torture, such as resonant low-frequency noise like Niu Tingyu's mother experienced. His spirit is very sensitive and easily agitated. He told me many times that life was boring, depressed and suicidal. Later, he read a lot of psychology and religious books and escaped on his own. So everyone will understand why Dong Yaoqiong became like that. Because in the mental hospital, she had to endure the kind of psychological torture that Niu Tingyu's mother went through. When they entered the mental hospital, they forced them to take brain-destroying drugs. In the case of Niu Tingyu's mother, if it weren't for Twitter where she would send several messages every day, the situation would probably be even more serious. Last year, a lot of famous people disappeared because of their sensitivity. The host who reported the news about Niu Tingyu had disappeared, and the arrogant girl had also disappeared. The most real white terror in China. Over the past few days, Crowds of people from all walks of life have come to welcome Xi Jinping, including spy Yao Cheng, who I discovered also came. If anyone happens to see this tweet of mine, Xi Jinping and Xi Mingzi should be denounced for suppressing Niutingyu. The story stops here with many question marks leaving the listener. We can also partly guess the haunting picture. A picture left by the Chinese Communist Party tells all Chinese people to obey and quietly continue to live as the party wants. The origin of this character must certainly be in the genealogy of the Communist Party. The rise from an ordinary person to a position in the government and in the party is strictly controlled and extremely thorough. Many rounds of testing and many steps of testing. After meeting the appropriate background requirements, this individual can enter the Communist Party system and enter the party. A government employee is not necessarily a party member, but an official or non-civilian position must be a party member. This character can advance to a position in a ministry, and in a special field, certainly has a very good background. It includes personal qualities and non-trivial relationships including consideration and introduction. Different areas of the institution will require different qualities and levels of training. This is something that may be very familiar in many countries. In departments such as the military, security, etc., in addition to their professional capacity, they also receive in-depth security training. For example, psychological operations, counterintelligence, etc. Therefore, when this character is questioned and investigated, he was basically trained. He was very familiar with the fighting environment, so his interrogation was not too difficult. The second and possibly most important point is that he was truly innocent of the organization at that time. That is key along with his position, and the organization just needs that kind of result. For ordinary people, they only work in the civil sector. They are completely insurmountable. They were completely unable to experience the full capacity of the interrogation team. When betrayal occurs, when trust is broken, it is impossible to heal and return to the way it was before. The organization fully understands this. They arranged for him to continue working quietly and he would withdraw from the organization on his own. It was when they started the interrogation process that they planned to throw him out of the organization. Such collapsed situations always need a support to continue living. He searched for meaning, and it was through religion and books that helped him escape those dark years. The story of people working in this ministry also reflects a basic issue that we have clearly stated in the book, 9 Commentaries on the Chinese Communist Party. That is, in China everyone is a victim of the Communist Party. At all levels of society, in all areas of society, in all geographical locations of society. Anyone can be interrogated. From General Secretary Liu Shaoqi to an ordinary person like the girl who splashed black ink on President Xi Jinping's photo. Maintaining fear of the party is a key tenet of the Communist Party's political tenet. Creating terror on the entire population is the easiest way to manage.
Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from Understand China, and thank you for tuning in.